Hello students, today we are going to talk about an important topic, that is the food system and the climate change. This topic is important from the examination perspective because we always look into the food system and the climate change separately. But the question which may be asked in 10 marker or the 15 marker question that can on the relationship between the food system and the climate change. So the question may be that what is the impact of the food system on the climate change and what is the impact of climate change on the food system. Therefore, in this video, I am going to make a tour of different countries and trying to establish the linkages between the climate change and its impact on the food cycle and the food systems. But before going into the understanding of this topic, if I ask you, what do you understand by the food system? It is about production, consumption, storage, transportation, retailing, wastage, each and every elements of the food system you can see here in this diagram. Now, if you will see, then the food system is not only impacted by the climate elements or by the climatic elements, but also by the non-climatic elements. The example of the non-climatic elements is the rising population and the impact of the climate change you can see in the form of drought, changing precipitation pattern, extreme climatic events like flash flood, cyclones and all. And if you will see globally, if I am talking about, then the per capita food supply has increased by 30%, but the use of nitrogenous fertilizer has been increased by 800%, and the water uses for the irrigation and the other purposes related to the food has increased by more than 100%. And before talking about this, I just want to make one thing clear to you, that all the data is from FAO, so you can use this in your answers also. Now, if you will see, then there is a positive relationship between the upper latitude regions and the climate change, because we have seen that during this course of the climate change, the yield of wheat, maize, sugar beets, etc. have increased in upper latitude regions. However, the area lying in the lower latitude regions is negatively correlated with the climate change, where we have seen a decline in the yield and the production of the crop. So this is just a context of our understanding. Now we will see what is the impact of the food on the climate change. So you will see that from agricultural emission, you can talk about the emission of CO2, that you can see in the context of straw burning. Then you can see nitrous oxide. This is also being released from the use of fertilizer. Then methane, that is from digestive system of the cattle. Likewise, the refrigerators which we are using for the storage and while transportation of the food is also releasing the greenhouse gas emissions. And therefore, it is important to understand that not only climate change is impacting the food system has also an impact on climate change. The one of the best example you can see in this diagram, where I have shown that if you are consuming beef, obviously we are not consuming, but in the Western countries, if you will see, then it is releasing 70 kilogram of greenhouse gas per kg. And if we are consuming vegetable, that is releasing only 0.7 kg of greenhouse gas per kg. I'm not talking and I'm not questioning about the choice of the food, but I am here giving the logical understanding that if you are vegetarian, you are adding less to the climate in the adverse impact I'm talking about. Now, if we will see what is the impact of climate change on the food, it has been observed that because of the climate change, the temperatures is getting warmer. Temperature is getting warm. And because of the warm temperature, pests, insecticides are increasing. Okay? And the increasing temperature has an impact on the farmer's income also, because it is reducing the yield. If you will see in the case of India, then Economic Survey 2018 says that 7 to 7.6% dip in the Kharif and Rabi crop yield respectively. And the farmer income is going to decrease by 20 to 25%. It also happens that the growth is being stimulated in the livestock also. If you will see that the growth is multiplied, but the quality of the livestock is reducing day by day. So increasing carbon dioxide has an impact on the livestock. Clear? So whenever the climate change is happening, it is not impacting only yield, it is impacting the livestock, it is impacting the fisheries, it is impacting the fertility amongst the livestock. Because in Karnal, in the institutes in Karnal, it has been observed that the fertility of the buffalo and the cow have reduced because of the climate change. National Dairy Institute, Karnal. Clear? Also, if you will see in case of India, then in Odisha, there is a district, Jagat Singhpur. Because of extreme flooding in this region, there is a decrease in the yield. Likewise, if you will see in the case of Karnataka, then because of the temperature, high temperature, there is a rise of exponential rise of pests that is impacting the yield. Now, if you will see globally, then in Vietnam, there has been a decrease of 70% in the production of the rice because of salt intrusion in the soil from the ocean, which is because of the rising climate change. In Brazil, if you will see, then 1% rise in temperature has reduced 9 to 13% yield of corn and maize. Okay? Now in West Africa, yield has stagnated. Likewise, Del Monte has reported a loss of $9 million because of flooding in the Guatemala region. Because of the flooding in Guatemala region, which has impacted the production of banana. Clear? So this is representing with an evidence that there is an impact of climate change on food. Now, if you will see the overall impact, then obviously it is going to impact the percentage, or it is going to impact the nutrition profile of the country. It is going to deepen the problem of hunger and poverty. So rising temperature, changing precipitation pattern, El Nino, each and everything is adding to the problem of hunger, poverty, malnutrition. And this is highlighted by Global Food Policy Report. Clear? Now, what we can do? So we can focus upon the sustainable agricultural practices, that is permaculture, that is biodynamic farming, that is in natural farming, that is integrated farming. So what we are doing under this biodynamic farming, we are focusing upon the renewed capacity by itself of the field, so that the fertility is maintained either by crop rotation or by cover cropping. So we are focusing upon cover cropping and crop rotation. Clear? And here in natural farming, we are focusing upon polycropping and we are focusing upon biostimulants. Clear? In permaculture, we are focusing upon the traditional way and also of the integration of aquatic and terrestrial ecosystem. And in integrated farming, we are focusing upon the judicious mix of two or more practices like aquaculture, apiculture, etc. Aquaculture, apiculture, agroforestry, etc. Along with this, we need to focus upon the soil restoration because it has been highlighted by UNCCD that the microbes in the soil is getting decreased day by day because of the rising temperature. Lastly, I just want to show you one slide, and this you can use in your suggestion part. Here I am not discussing much because it is the culmination of each and everything that I have discussed. That the climate change is happening and it is a reality, it will happen. So we can focus upon the adaptation. That adaptation can be transformational, that adaptation can be incremental. So in the context of incremental adaptation, we can focus upon water management technique, we can focus on pest control, we can focus on soil management. If the problem is of extreme events like floods, flash floods, several flood disasters, cyclone and all. If the problem is of warming trend, that is rising temperature, then our incremental adaptation techniques will be livestock flattening and labor redistribution developmental projects. Likewise, if you are trying to focus upon transformational adaptation, then we need to focus upon early warning system and the insurance for the crop and the livestock. Likewise, if there is a rising temperature and you want to a transformational adaptation, then you need to focus upon new technological system and the transformation of the entire food system. That is each and every element of our food system that I shown you in the very first slide. Okay, so that's all about the impact of the relation between the climate change and the food system. I hope this video of mine is adding some points, some valuable points which you can use directly in the examination. So again, I will come with another video where I will cover that particular topic holistically. So thanks to all of you.